Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to the live stream. So this is the first one I've done morning in the US, so it's about an hour before I have to get to work. And my understanding is that this time works better for the people in Asia and Europe. I think it's like 4 p.m. In London right now, and about like it's 9 o'clock over here, right? So like 8:30 p.m. in India, something like that. So my name is Shank. I'm a data analyst. I work in the United States for a major fashion retailer. Nordstrom. So we work in the high end of fashion retail in the U.S. And I have a YouTube channel where basically I just tell people how to become a data analyst. I'm on my own journey to become a data scientist, so people follow me doing that as well. I have a series on hands-on machine learning, the book by Aurélien Garon, which is kind of like the Bible of machine learning and how a lot of people start their journeys in the machine learning space. So I have an entire um, series based on that as well. Hey, Weeb Course, welcome, welcome, welcome. What time zone are you in, Weeb Course? I know, yeah, I see you in the Friday evening live streams as well. I'm drinking my coffee while I'm waiting. Welcome, welcome, everyone. Usually would take a couple of minutes to pick up, and then it gets a little bit more exciting. Hello, Sai. Hello, hello. One second. Hi, everyone. Welcome, welcome. GMT -6. So is that what East Coast? That's East Coast time, right? Because I remember when I was in London, yeah, East Coast was about 6 hours, 6 or 7 hours behind. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. So yeah, if you have any questions, nice, nice. If you have any questions, leave them in the chat below. If you don't, just say hi and if you're comfortable, where you're from and what you do for a living. Hey, Shrikant, welcome. Great to see you. Good morning. Good morning. North Carolina, love it. Always wanted to go. I have not gone yet. If I go to North Carolina, do you recommend a specific place I should be going? All right, Adam Khan, is there still a value in learning VBA for Excel? The work I do is incredibly Excel oriented, so I'm thinking of just diving into it and making life easier for everyone. That's a really, really difficult one. I think it depends on what exactly your job entails. Here's the thing. If you can learn VBA in like a month, which, it's, my understanding is that VBA is not like too complex, so you should be able to learn like the basics and everything in a month. Hey, what's up, Marshall? Great to see you again. But if you can learn VBA in like a month, then I think I just do it. More skills is always better. And the thing about Microsoft products is that they're so freaking sticky because Microsoft never deprecates anything. My brother is a software developer, and he was like he was going through Microsoft's like documentation for something on like their .NET framework, and he's like, there's so much stuff here that's been kept for decades just because they have to maintain compatibility with all previous versions. So, Adam Khan, to answer your question, if you can learn it relatively quickly, I don't see the problem in it at all. So definitely go ahead and do it. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Best Excel course. I actually don't know. So I'm not particularly good at Excel myself. So I left college with a degree in chemistry, which didn't really teach me much in the realm of um, computer anything. And so I didn't really have much Excel knowledge. Like I had like the basics of like Excel knowledge, but like nothing, huge after that. And then I immediately got into analytics and started working with different data, or like working with like Alteryx and Tableau and stuff like that. So long story short, I don't know what the best Excel course is, but I know that there are a couple of people on YouTube who have a bunch of free ones, and I'm pretty sure Excel's like anything else, where like you could probably just find a free one on YouTube that works relatively well. So, yeah, definitely, that's what I recommend. Welcome, great to see more people coming in. If you haven't already, make sure to like the video. It just helps the YouTube algorithm and show people that what we're doing here is very worthwhile. Let me have a sip of my coffee. So for anyone that just came in, let me give a quick intro. My name is Shashank. I'm a data analyst working in the United States. I work in Nordstrom, which is a fashion retail company that operates here. So it's kind of like Macy's, Dillard's. I'm trying to think of like foreign brands that like, or brands in like other countries that might help relate better. But we manage the high end of fashion retail, and we, have about 100 mainline stores in the U.S. And if anyone's interested, we are hiring as well. So if you're interested in a job, let me know. But yeah, I have a YouTube channel, where I help people get into the world of analytics. without any special experience or anything. I have a free Python course on my YouTube channel, and I have a free SQL course, and I have a free Tableau course. So if you want to learn Python, Tableau, or SQL, my YouTube channel has free courses for all of them. So definitely check that out. All right. Next question. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anyone. Adam Khan, you asked another question. The last time we talked, I asked you if it was possible to be a data analyst with and be a digital nomad at the same time. It was a few months ago. Nice, great job, Adam. Great job. And this is one of the great things about these live streams. It's great to see people like progress as time goes on. If you don't mind me asking, what exactly do you do? Like, what work are you doing? All right. Okay. So let's get back to the questions. Okay. So Rajesh Kumar Rotre. Rotre, that's interesting. I've never heard of that name before. Made a portfolio with the help of Alex the analyst, but don't have any great analytics projects. I don't know if there's a question following that. Okay, let's see. Next. Hi, bro. What's up, Srihari? Ashwin Sethi. Okay, what university is the best for data science in the USA? Okay, so here's the thing. So I went to Emory University for my bachelor's degree. So we're like a top 20 university. Not Ivy League. We're like the next 10 after that. So not an elite university, but a pretty good one. And I'm kind of thinking that like what like qualifies as an elite university, like rankings and stuff like that. I wouldn't pay too much attention to it. Like obviously, like if you're talking like MIT and stuff, that's different. Like if you get into the Ivy Leagues, those are just different. Like people just look at you different when you get out of those. So if you get into one of those, if you can get into like an Ivy League, get into an Ivy League, no matter what. Um, but outside of that, I would say look at the actual program, like the actual syllabus behind the university, and see if it's what you want. Because working in data science, right, you could be doing like you could want to do more research work, you could want to do more corporate work, like more practical work, like I'm trying to like make money with this. There are different paths you can go doing that, and you need to make sure that the university that you're going to supports that your career path. So I'm not going to recommend a best one. I will say that Georgia Tech it has a highly recommended one, and University of Texas at Austin has a program that only costs $10,000 for the entire program, and UT has an excellent CS program. So I would definitely look at those two. And then Syracuse University has a really great practical course. So I don't believe that there's such thing as a best university. I think that the whole idea of ranking universities is not 100% dumb, but like not really, not as helpful as it sounds. Um, and you should look at like what makes the most sense for you. Ooh, okay, we got a lot of questions over here. Welcome everyone. Welcome. Okay. Oh, Adam. Okay. So yeah, I'm a data analytics consultant for a small management consulting company. We're about 10 people. We have contracts, airports, and FEMA. Nice. Well, great job, man. Congratulations for setting a goal and making it come true. That's exactly. I remember Adam did ask a couple of months ago about working remote, and now you're doing it. There you go. I'm working remote too, just not nearly enough as fun of a location. My company's in what do you call it in Seattle, and I'm in Denver. But you know, all right. Let me go down the questions. All right. So what do we got over here? Which universities? Okay. So Srikanth Kultur, how do you generate data sets for free? We scraping is kind of a crime. So scraping is not a crime. Depends on how you do it. Or well, okay. I guess let me rephrase that. Depends on what jurisdiction you're in. For all I know, in whatever country or state you're writing from, it may not be legal. But where I'm from, like in the U.S., it's not really illegal. It's kind of like a gray area. And the idea is kind of like this companies just, it's kind of their responsibility to prevent scraping. Um, and scraping is not the only place to get data sets. I think that one of the best places to get data sets is government websites. So the US government has this website called data.gov, and you can get a ton of data from that website. So I highly, highly, highly recommend that. Raihan Hafiz, is Excel necessary to data analysts? No, it's not necessary. Like when you say Excel, I'm guessing you mean like advanced Excel skills like VBA and stuff like that. No, you should probably know how pivot tables work. And if you're working with like SQL and stuff like that, if you're working with enough data, you'll need to make a pivot table at some point in time. So I think that anything like any Excel skills you need, you'll probably learn on the job. But again, depends on the job because like there are data analysts whose like entire roles operate in Excel. I have, in my opinion, been lucky enough to not have any jobs that like require heavy Excel skills. So yeah, that's my opinion on that. AI data guy. Hi, I am from India. Welcome, welcome. Actually, that's the reason I'm having this live stream right now. Normally, I do my live streams Friday evenings my time. but that turns out to be like 2 a.m. in India. Or like 4:30 a.m. in India or something like that. It's crazy. So I wanted to give everyone an opportunity to join in. Okay, hey, I'm from India. I work as a computer vision specialist. Nice. Want to jump into ML and AI. What do you think I shall do in terms of starting it? I would recommend taking the TensorFlow course by Google. I think I have a TensorFlow resource available where like I got this like certification for like Google's TensorFlow. It basically just means I like know the basics of TensorFlow, but the certification course is a tremendous way to actually learn how TensorFlow works, and they do a lot of like computer vision stuff inside it. So, long story short, AI data guy, I recommend you go to Coursera and look up Google's TensorFlow course. All right, Shihari, can you make a video of full data analytics course for beginners? That's a tough one. Because data analytics, like if I put up a video like that, like people might get the wrong idea what data analytics is. Like it can be so many different things. Like what I do is like just one form of analytics, which is why Srihari, I actually just put up these separate skills. Because for example, like my Python course, I can like stand behind that and say like, oh yes, if you're a data analyst, this is like a great place to like get beginner Python skills. Like these are the skills you'll need to like be a beginner. Or like my Tableau course or my SQL course. So I don't think I'll make a full beginner data analytics course. Oh, I guess I can see what you're saying about like if you wanted me to make a course on like how to actually analyze data. Yeah, I could do that. That I could totally do. I To be fair, I don't have a course on actually analyzing data. I have courses on like manipulating data. So, Srihari, that's a great idea. I will make a course on analyzing data. Sorry, analyzing data. But in case you're wondering, I do have a free Python course, SQL course, and Tableau course on my YouTube channel. Ooh, we have a lot of questions coming. Oh, hey, what's up, CF Garcia? Great to see you again. Ooh, we have a lot of questions coming in. All right. So, by the way, so I'm going to go through these questions, top to bottom, and if you want to show your support, or if you want me to answer your question immediately, you can send a super chat. And if you send a super chat, I'll answer your question immediately because obviously it floats to the top. But I'm going to get through as many of these questions as possible, just as a heads up for people. All right, Adam Kahn. Last. Okay, so Ajay11, is Excel necessary to be a data analyst? I thought I answered this question already. Maybe you're just asking it again. Excel. Oh no, that was okay. Raihan asked that question. Like I mentioned earlier, I don't think Excel is necessary to be a data analyst, but it depends on the job. So some job descriptions will require you to be like very fluent in Excel, and you do need to know like how pivot tables and stuff work. Now, I don't know how VBA works, for example. Anything that I need, like VBA, Power Pivot, Power Query, I don't know how any of that stuff works. Anything I need to do, I just do it in Python. Um, but I do know how like pivot tables work and like how to like manipulate Excel, just because I do have to present a lot of my analyses in Excel because that's the format people are most familiar with. All right, Nilesh Bamare. Hi, Shashank. What other skill should learn apart from Python, Tableau, SQL, Excel as data analytics pressure? I think that's enough. I mean, if you know that, like what else? Like, here's the thing. At one point, it doesn't make sense. Like at one point, skills are not useful unless you apply them. I'll just like come out and say that. And if you know all of these skills already, then you have more than enough experience to start actually applying and start like doing analyses. So I would say at that point, forget about skill, like especially since you're saying like analytics fresher, right? For anyone not aware, fresher is like the like Indian English word for like someone who's just starting off in a job. I only mention that because it's not a very common word in the U.S. So if you're talking about like as a fresher, then I think you have more than enough skills if you already know Python, Tableau, SQL, and Excel, and you should start focusing on the um, actual like application. Like, how can I actually use these skills for something? So that's my advice, Neelish. Don't worry about any other skills if you have all of that stuff. I guess R maybe, but yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about anything else. Drinking my coffee. All right, Arun Kumar K. I've learned intermediate level Excel VBA, nice. Power Query, nice. Power Pivot and DAX, great stuff. Yeah, very much a Microsoft guy here. I'm learning SQL and visualization currently. Which career line is which career line, which career in line of data or business analyst is good for me? So I think it depends. Like if you want to know like what is good for you, I think the better question is what do you want to do? So I kind of like to say it like this. Okay, so like you have like multiple levels of it's kind of like an inverted pyramid, right? So I only have one hand available, so it's a little bit hard to do. You have like an inverted pyramid, right? And at the top level is the customer, and the level below that is like, say, like a marketing professional, right? And the marketing professional is trying to like create marketing speak that like talks to the customer. The level below that is business analysts, and business analysts are people who communicate very directly with the business, aka people like um, what do you call it, like the marketing people, and they'll say, "Oh, hey, what's up, Dr. Bacon? Great to see you again." And so what happens? Yeah, okay, so you have the customer at the top, then you have the marketing people, for example, or it could be like supply chain experts or something, and then below that you have the business analyst. The business analyst will take data that's already usually, again, these titles are very fluid. They will take data that's already been very cleaned up and kind of like make dashboards out of that for the uh, business people. And then below that, you have the data analyst, and the data analyst will like write more SQL queries, and they will usually be less in communication with the business than a business analyst will. And then below that, you have data scientists who like are even in less contact with the business, and they answer questions that the data doesn't directly answer. So they're like, okay, we have like Wi-Fi data. Can we actually figure out how to calculate traffic for our stores? That's like something our data scientists have done because we can't directly calculate traffic. Um, so that's kind of like the way I like to see it. It's an inverted pyramid, and I actually have a TikTok on this. I know TikTok's not available in India, so if you're able to check it out, but it's like an inverted pyramid where like you go directly from the top, and then you go like level by level for specialization. And the reason I like to use the inverted pyramid is because a lot of people like to say data scientists are at the top of the hierarchy, and I will be honest with you, they get paid the most. At the end of the day, if you have that level of skills, you're going to be paid a lot of money. But as far as like importance to the organization, I think that you can kind of like they're all important, and each level supports the subsequent level after it. And so when you're asking me like what job should I do, you should ask yourself what level of the organization do you want to be at. Some people really want to be BAs because you're a lot closer to the business, and they don't want to get into like the super nitty gritty of the work. I would say that data analysts tend to be a bit more technical than BAs, and there's not a criticism at all of BAs, like because you still need people to communicate with business very effectively. So I think it depends on you. Like given that framework, does that help answer your question? Because what should you do? You shouldn't build up skills and then try and fit a job to those skills. Um, at least for your entire life, you should try and figure out what you want to do and then build the skills necessary to do that. That's what I think. So Arun Kumar K, does that answer your question? I know that was a bit. It's a little bit of a different question. I get a lot of like questions here where I like inject my personal philosophy into stuff where I'm like, I've been in this field for a couple of years and like there's mistakes I've made that I want to make sure that people don't make ahead of me. So, does that answer your question? Welcome everyone. Should I learn? Oh, Shrikant Kultur. This is an interesting question. Should I learn AWS or GCP? Because many companies are using cloud-based platform. Marshall Turner says AWS, and I think Marshall Turner is 100% right. I'm going to say something here though. I love GCP. So I've been using GCP. So GCP, for anyone that doesn't know, is Google Cloud. I guess. Oh, what does the P stand for? Basically, it stands for Google Cloud. And I've been using Google Cloud for my clients. So I do like my main job, and then I have like clients on the side, um, as like a like my own consulting thing. Um, and I've used AWS and GCP, and I like love Google Cloud services so much because they integrate so well with so many of their other services. And I have not been a fan of using AWS. That being said, Marshall's 100% right. You should learn AWS because that's what companies use. Just inserting my little information over there. If you are thinking about getting into independent consulting, you should definitely look into Google Cloud services because they are really nice. Platform. Okay, there we go. Yeah, Google Cloud Platform. Thank you. Awesome, Arun. I'm glad that answers your question. And you guys will start to see, like, that's kind of like what my live streams are. I try not to just like directly give people an answer. I try and like give as much context as possible around my answer. So that's just the style we have on these live streams. And it looks like we have a lot of questions coming in. If you want me to answer your question immediately, send me a super chat and I'll answer your question immediately. And it's also a great way to support the work I'm doing over here. Quick pause for a second. I just have to, give people a couple of things. It looks like we have 50 people on the live stream, but only 33 likes. So if you haven't liked it already and you like what you're seeing, please go ahead and like the live stream. It's a great way to support the content I'm making and tell YouTube that what I'm doing is worthwhile. And let's get back to it. Okay, next question. Okay, Sharif Haraz. Let me get my coffee. Okay, so hey, I'm 32 and want to shift my career into data analytics. I tried web developer before, but I didn't get it. What do you think my chance to get a job as data analytics, which I felt is my goal? Okay, I want to shift my career to data analytics. I tried web developer before, but I didn't get it. Okay, so data analytics. Okay, so there are three aspects to a successful analytics practitioner. So Sharif Haraz, I'm answering your question now. The first aspect is someone who has good computer skills. So that's stuff like, do you know Python or R? Do you know SQL? Do you know Excel? I would put that as part of that same um, thing. And the second part is domain expertise. So, for example, do you know, are you like a supply chain expert? Are you a financial expert? And the third part is mathematical skills. Do you know how probabilities work? Can you, work with large amounts of data in mathematically in ways that make sense quickly? Percentages, stuff like that. So those are the three aspects. There's the computer aspect, there's the mathematical aspect, and there is the domain expertise aspect. I think to successfully get a job in data analytics, you need to show skills in at least two of those places. So if you're good at like math and you're good at like uh, if you have like good domain expertise, then you could like go into a company and say, hey, like I know these two, and I'm willing to pick up the CS skills. So for example, we're hiring right now at our company for data analysts, and we have a set of skills we want the data analysts to do, and we interview them at all of these skills. So we interview them on their math skills, their computational skills, and on their business skills, which is kind of like a stand-in for the domain expertise in our case, because we're looking for more junior analysts. Now, the thing is, almost no one actually can do all of these things really well all together, and we know that, and we're okay with that. So we're just looking for someone who can do at least two of those things. So I would say Sharif Haraz, if you can do at least two of those skills, so in my opinion, the easiest thing to do is to pick up a programming language or something like SQL and to pick up some like basic domain expertise to be like, oh yeah, like I'm like a supply chain expert, I'm like a financial expert or something like that. So I think if you want to get into the world of analytics, that's a great way to do it. So let me know if I answered your question. Hi Shashank, how would you recommend me learning Cerebro and Hadoop? So could you refresh me on what Cerebro is exactly? Hadoop, that's a great question. I actually don't know. I have never used a big data framework in my life. I am very lucky that the company I work at currently actually has like big data I can work with, and we have like a PySpark implementation and everything. So I think I'm going to be starting to work in my company like using that. Um, but sorry, Andres, I actually don't know. One, I'm not exactly sure what Cerebro is, so let me know if you know what Cerebro is. And Hadoop, I don't actually work with big data currently. Usually the engineers are able to parse the data down to like a section where I can like more accurately use it. So let me know. Let me know. Oh, hey, Felipe, what's up? What's up? Haven't been to one of your live streams in a while. Good to see you again. Great to see you again, too. Thank you for all your. Of course, of course. Shrikon, thank you so much. I'll go with AWS because my company is asking for that. Yeah, 100% definitely AWS. At the end of the day, you should go with exactly whatever your like company is asking for, and generally speaking, that would be like AWS or something. Eric, were you a developer before data analyst? I'm a dev and thinking about migrating data. So, Eric, you 100% can do that. I wasn't. I was a college student before I got into data analytics. So, Srihari, which will you recommend, Tableau or Power BI? That's an interesting one. So I started on Tableau, and I think it depends on your market. So in the U.S. market, I would say you probably have a decent distribution of companies that use Tableau and a decent distribution of companies that use Power BI. I'm not too sure if in other markets it's completely like reverse and like everyone uses Power BI. So I'd say like look at two things. First, look at the market you're in and see do most companies in my country use Power BI or Tableau, and then learn whichever one that is. I would also say that like once you learn one, the other one is very easy to work with too. Like these things are meant to be easy to work with. So like just learn one, and the other one will be relatively easy to work with. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. Um, Oh, Shrikant Kultur, important MacBooks or Windows laptops for coding. I'm personally a big Mac guy. Yeah, I'm big on Mac, honestly. The only reason so I have two Macs. I have like a 7 year old or I have like an 8 year old MacBook Pro. That's like my personal laptop, and I have a like brand new 16-inch MacBook that my company like it's like completely decked out and everything. It's awesome that my company gave me for like company use. Um, I have been waiting to get a new laptop as a personal laptop, and the problem is I really, 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 really like the new M1 MacBooks, but at the same time I like gaming, and I don't want to buy two laptops. It just seems like a waste, honestly. So I'm thinking about just getting a PC just because I can game on it, and I mean, it works the same way. Like it does all the same stuff I need my Mac to do. All right, back to answering the questions. Just want to make sure I didn't miss out on anything. Oh, Akash, this is the perfect time for a live session. Awesome, awesome. I'm glad you guys like it. So, for anyone that didn't know, I actually put out a community post a little while ago where I said I asked people like, what's the best time for Europeans and Asians to actually like join the live stream, because I know Europeans and Asians, it's the time I normally do, which is 5 p.m. my time. Um, is really inconvenient for a lot of people. So get a custom made PC gaming and coding satisfaction without wasting money. That's a good point. That's a good point. The only problem is, so currently I'm a, oh yeah, yeah. So don't worry, I'll get back to your question. I kind of like jump around a little bit, but I will definitely get back to your question. So Shrikant, good point. The only reason I don't get a custom made PC right now, or like a PC tower in general, is that I am living a very mobile life at the moment. So I don't actually like have an apartment that I like live in for months at a time. I'm waiting for my company to actually tell me like what we're doing after COVID, and then after that, I'm gonna like actually settle down somewhere. But I guess yeah, after I settle down, I'll probably do that. But currently, I'm like a semi nomad. I wouldn't say I'm a full nomad because I'll spend like 2 months in one place. But I was in New York earlier. I was in Dallas before here. Now I'm in Denver. I'm probably going to go to Seattle next month. So that's the only thing that's stopping me from pulling the trigger on a tower. All right, back to the questions. Back to the questions. Uh, Sundar, yes, yes. Let me get to your question. Yes. Bro, can you tell me how to practice Python for data analysts? What are the modules to be well known in Python? I'm practicing for the past 7 months. Can you give me tips? Huh. I would say find a subject matter you're very interested in. For me, it's cars. I love cars. Find a bunch of data in relation to that. So, for example, like I've been in the office since all this started. Oh my God, I am so sorry, Felipe. Yes, sorry. Back to your question though. Um, Sundar, find a subject you're really interested in. For me, it's cars. I love cars. I'm a huge car nerd. I really want a Toyota Supra. Unfortunately, there's a huge shortage supply. There's a huge supply of. Wait, there's a huge shortage of supply. I went to the Toyota dealership the other day, and normally the Toyota Supra, like the 2.0 version, which is like the weaker one, costs about like 43,000 US dollars, right? And I'm like, okay, you know what? Like, if I like really like just like like hunker down, earn a bunch of money, maybe I can like get that. I go to the dealership, and the guy is like $10,000 on top of that. You're gonna pay $60,000 for a 2.0 liter car, and I'm like, no, dude, I am not going to pay that much for that car. So, yeah, Anyway, sorry, that was my little side rant. I like to add a little personality to these live streams. Um, so sorry. I love cars. They're very expensive right now, which is why I don't have. I drive a 1999 Lexus right now. Um, Anyways, sorry, to answer your question, find a subject matter you're interested in. For me, it's cars, and then find a data set in relation to that subject matter. So, for example, for me, it's really easy. I go into the National Highway Transportation and Safety Administration website, which the United States is like highway safety administration. Whatever country you're in definitely has their own version of it too. Um, and then I pull crash test data from that. And then I went ahead and I started asking myself questions, like what is which car is the safest car? Which company is the safest company? Stuff like that. I ask myself question after question, and then I start visualizing the data. So start off by visualizing the data, and then you'll start to realize, oh wait a second, this data doesn't answer all the questions I have. Keep asking questions. Just keep asking questions, and then you'll start to start taking like probabilities, and you'll be like, okay, so like um, okay, Chevrolets get into more accidents than I don't know, like Mazdas. But wait, Mazda sells way fewer cars, so you can't just like compare them directly. So now you have to start taking probabilities into account. And by asking these questions and by like just like thinking about the problem like more and more, you'll start to automatically like pick up on like patterns and like go through the analytics process yourself. So um, to answer your question, Sundar, pick a subject matter you're interested in, get data from it, and just keep asking questions. Okay. So I don't know, Sundar, like, what are you interested in? Like for me, it's, I mean, it's cars, and it's very easy. There's tons of data on cars. All right. All right. All right. All right. Do you offer mentorship? Unfortunately, I do not right now. I might in the future, but yeah, it's difficult, right? Because like mentorship is very difficult to, because at the end of the day, I think if I was to offer mentorship, I would charge a lot of money for it, and I don't want to do that honestly. Like it would just feel weird to me because I think it should be free, but at the same time, I can't take like I just don't have enough time to like mentor individual people. Ah, okay. Can you tell us the perks of working at your current company? So I work at Nordstrom. I think someone asked where I worked at. I work at Nordstrom, which is a fashion retailer in the United States. So I would say there are a couple of perks over here. So Nordstrom is based out of Seattle. So by working in Seattle, we automatically have to compete with. Oh, I hope it's not lagging for y'all. But by working in Seattle, we automatically have to compete with. Ooh, yeah. I hope it's not lagging. Is it still lagging, everyone? Yeah, I hope that it's still working for everyone. Oh no, we had a. Oh yeah, it looks like we lost a bunch of people. Yeah. So okay, hope. Okay, so I'm just gonna keep going. Okay, so I'm guessing it's working now. I'm just gonna keep going. And then hopefully we get back the numbers we had earlier. Okay. So yeah, Sundar, to answer your question, yeah, no, I mean, find data you're interested in, just start analyzing, start asking questions. It's a really open ended thing, right? Because everyone learns differently. So I can't tell you what learning method like works best for you. So I think that's why the answer is so open ended. Okay, perfect, perfect, perfect. Um, Harsha, do you need DSA for analytics? Could you let me know what DSA means? Um, Julia Mateo Martinez Echeverri. If you were on your 20s, I'll do a master's on data science, learn from yourself, or both. Ooh, I'd say both. So the thing is, you could totally learn all the stuff yourself. The benefit of a master's is that later in your career, eventually, like say you want to climb the corporate ladder, right? There are places that will stop you from going up if you don't have a master's degree. And so that's why I think that, like, that's why I'm going to be pursuing a master's. Honestly, like, it's not because I think that, or it's really because I think that like people will like stop. What do you call it? People will be I um can't like promote you because you don't have like the education for it. Or what they'll usually say is along the lines of like, oh, we have master's candidates that are like doing this stuff. So I would say like if you can get a master's, like 100% go for it. Like if as long as you can like get it at a good price, like make sure you get it like priced well. I think you won't regret it. This is a high paying field, so all right. Let me get back to the questions. Ah, it's your boy Dodo Bird. This is a good question. So, hey, Shashank, do you use object-oriented programming concepts like classes when doing your analysis, or is it mainly procedural programming? It is entirely procedural programming for my like analyses, but I'm currently working with my team to build out a machine learning platform. And in building out that platform, obviously, we have to use object-oriented practice. So it's really funny because like one of the more talented programmers on our team, or one of the more talented data scientists on our team, he's like um, he put together this like he got all these tutorials on like object oriented programming because like he knows all of us like just program procedurally. Um, and because we're going to be making a entire like machine learning system, we have to be able to like program more what do you call it in a better in a more object oriented manner. So yeah, that's what I do. Okay, CF Garcia, can you tell us the perks of working at your current company? Yeah, so I work at Nordstrom. I would say being in Seattle, the biggest benefit is that we compete against Microsoft and Amazon and Tableau and like all these other tech companies. And Salesforce is there, Google's there, for their tech talent. So if you want to get good tech talent, they have to pay good salaries. So Nordstrom pays what I would call solid salaries. They're not like top tier salaries, but they're solid. I wouldn't complain about it. So that's one. I would say another benefit is that we get 33% off of all merchandise at like at Nordstrom. And then like it's like 25% or something at like Nordstrom Rack. But the 33% off has no restrictions. It's insane. So like you can get like I could get like one of those Dyson things, which is like $800, and I would still get 33% off of that. So that's one of the major perks of the company. And I would say another like perk is the work-life balance of the company is pretty good, especially compared to like Amazon or what I've heard about Amazon, um, who is like the other major like Amazon's like a major Seattle company. So I would say those are like the big perks of the company. All right, let's see what other questions we have. Update. I'm getting a crazy amount of interview opportunities. That's awesome, Marshall. Great to see that. I love seeing people make progress. This makes everything I do worth it. So if you come to these live streams regularly and you have a life update, be sure to like put it in the chat below. I love seeing people progress in this field. So Felipe, 20%. And for anyone that just joined, my name is Shashank. I'm a data analyst working out of, now out of Denver. In the United States, I work in Nordstrom, a major North American fashion retailer. I have a YouTube channel where I teach you how to become a data analyst. So I have a free course on Python, a free course on Tableau, a free course on SQL. So if you want to learn SQL, if you want to learn Python, if you want to learn Tableau, check out my free courses. They have all the information you need. And if you want me to answer your question, so we have about another 20 minutes to go. If you want me to answer your question faster, then just go ahead and send me a super chat and I'll answer your question first. But, obviously, it's a great way to support me and a great way to get your question answered quickly. So I just got some news. Adidas is selling Reebok. Interesting. Okay. Let's see what the next question is. How is data engineering as a career path, especially within the Big Four? Tremendous. I think between like in the major analytics careers, right? You have like data scientists, data analysts, and data engineers. Data engineers get paid the most on average. So great career path. At the end of the day, data scientists and data analysts can barely do their jobs without good data engineers at large enough companies. So I used to work at smaller company, so we didn't like data engineers were not like we didn't need them as much. Obviously we needed them like to get some like basic stuff done, but like at Nordstrom we can't get anything done without the engineers because it's a much larger company. So yeah. Karthik Aurora, Postgres versus SQL, which one is best? So I guess I'm a little bit confused by your question. My understanding is that Postgres is it's a relational database management system. And it uses SQL to manage. My understanding is that Postgres actually has like tremendous SQL support. So Postgres is a little tough start with MySQL. MySQL is more used in enterprise. And also, if you want to learn SQL, I have a free SQL course in my YouTube channel. So like, go to my YouTube channel, type in SQL, and you'll see a free SQL course where I teach you all the basic SQL you need to know to get started. So definitely don't sleep on my SQL course. SQL is important to learn very much, very much. Encore Rai. So I recently mined Bitcoin data using PiCoin Gecko and used Excel and created a pivot table and a chart to show the trend of Bitcoin value. Can this be counted as a project? I think I would add a little bit more information to it. If you just mined the data and visualized it, I think you could add a little bit more, like add some commentary to it. That's what I mean. So like talk about the patterns and stuff, and because as a data analyst, right? The really average data analysts, what they'll do is that they'll pull the data, they'll make the visualizations, and then they'll throw it to the business. They'll say hey, marketing guy, here's your data. The best data analysts are able to take that, write out a script saying this is what this means, here you go, and present it as a package to the actual business person. So I think you're really, really close. Just go ahead and add some verbal content, and that's what makes it actually a final project, I'd say. Krishna Sai Chalasani. Okay, I saw that you have a hands-on machine learning. So he's asking about my hands-on machine learning series, and where's chapter one? Chapter one, I didn't do a chapter one because it's just an intro chapter, and a lot of the content over there, I think, like, so it's talking about like the landscape of like machine learning and everything, and that changes every like 3 months. So that's why I didn't cover that chapter. So I wouldn't worry too much about chapter one. You're not missing anything by not doing it. What's with the big monitor? Oh, dude, I love big monitors. The absolute best. Let's see. Repost because stream went down. Just got an offer as a data analyst at a Big Four consulting. Hey, there you go, Hippo Lord. High five to you. High five to Hippo Lord over here. I wish there was a way to like contact you guys on YouTube. Hey, thank you so much, Chigbu Ugo Chukwu. So, Chigbu, would you mind like writing out like in like I hate to say this, but like in American English, how I'd like pronounce your name? It's a brand new name for me, so I'm not very familiar with it. But thank you so much for the contribution. Um, So Hippo Lord, congratulations! Great job, and awesome job on getting the job. I love seeing people get the jobs. So so yeah, Chigbo. Also, like write down the pronunciation of your name as well, because I want to say it correctly if I can. I'm 25. I have knowledge of Power BI and SQL. I'm preparing to enter uh, data science career, and hopefully would need a mentor. There are types of Power BI projects or SQL projects that do you think I could work on? Um, Okay, so I think it's the advice I give everyone, really. It's kind of like find something you're very interested in. For me, like I said, it's cars, and just start visualizing data in relation to that. As you start messing around with data more and more, you will start to see different patterns and ask different questions. And by asking yourself these questions, you'll create an interesting project. And part of the reason I'm so open ended about my response is because I interview candidates, and I've had candidates show me a project and I'm like, wait a second, no, I saw this in a book before. And when I see someone do that, I'm like, this project doesn't tell me anything because you just. Oh yes, I'm answering Chigbu's question right now. Did I miss it? So I'm answering. I have knowledge of Power BI and SQL, and I'm preparing to enter data science career, and hopefully we need a mentor. What types of Power BI projects and SQL projects do you think I can work on? So, um, that's the question I saw. Let me just make sure, like if I'm missing any of his questions, let me know. If I missed your question, like repost it, Chigbu. Um, but yeah, so like in answering your question, what I'm saying is like find a subject matter you're very interested in, and then pull data from that, and then start because Power BI is free, I think, or like you can get like a basic desktop license for free, and just start visualizing your data on that immediately. And the reason I say that is because I interview candidates at my company, and I've had people who will actually say, um, like they'll show me a project, and I'll be like, oh, I've seen this project before. Like I've done this project as part of like some like normal course or something. And what it does is it doesn't like communicate that you actually know how to do what you're saying. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so I'm answering your question right now. So that's why I always stress to people that you need to go ahead and find a data set you're very interested in, pull your own data, and then analyze that data in Power BI yourself, and do some basic stuff. So just do like a count. So like like for example, like say we're to do the car crash test data, right? The number of accidents per car company. Okay, then beyond that, the number of Godson. Okay, perfect. So Godson. So the number of uh, so now after you have the count of car accidents per what do you call it, company, and then after that you can do, okay, what about proportionally? Okay, so maybe like there are way more Chevy accidents than there are Mazda accidents, but it's because Chevys sell so many cars. Okay, so what's the next thing? Let's try and do proportionally. So then do that graph and have that graph like explode out of the original graph. So that's what I would say. Like just keep like going deeper and deeper into these questions, and that's how you practice. And the reason I stress so much on making your own, pulling your own data, is the people who do the best projects are the people who can like explain when they go to an interview, they can like talk passionately about what they're doing because it's something they did themselves. And I know two people like personally who their projects were like very personal to them, and they had the best interviews as far as like, oh yeah, I can explain all of this. Krishna Sai, Hey, are you Thejas's brother? Yeah, I am. I am. Yeah, I'm from North Hills. Actually, I'm wearing my North Hills shirt. This is my North Hills track shirt. I just happen to be wearing it right now. Um, the name is familiar. Were you in his class? I don't think you were in my class. Were you in his class? And for anyone that doesn't know, our high school was very small. The graduating class was like 100 people. So in total in high school, there was like 400 people. So you could know every single person in every single grade. It was very realistic to do so. All right. Encore right. So if I make a PowerPoint and have all the visualizations as well as a brief explanation, that'll be good. I think so. I think that's good. Take the PowerPoint, make it a PDF, and stick it on your GitHub along with the rest of the project, and put that information inside a README. So that's what I would recommend. Okay, Marshall Turner. Marshall Turner. I got to answer this guy only because this guy's gave me the shout out on LinkedIn, I think. So got to answer what he's got. I'm facing. Oh, by the way, if anyone is interested, unfortunately, I'm not accepting LinkedIn connections anymore because I received too many. But if you follow me on LinkedIn, I will post any updates I have on like job opportunities if anyone's interested. So follow me on LinkedIn. Just look up my name. I should be like the only one in the entire world. Yeah, but follow me and I'll post. I'm thinking about adding more content to my LinkedIn. And let me know if you guys are interested. Also, if you haven't liked the video already, go ahead and like the video. It tells YouTube that this is something like worth doing and that like this is content that people should be joining in. This is a very exciting live stream. Thank you guys so much for joining. Let me answer Marshall Turner's question now. I'm facing an issue with Python interview questions. Since they know I use Selenium and Pandas, the interviewers now assume I know Jenkins, Hadoop, Matplotlib. What library should I go for? Wait, where did they get Hadoop from? Hadoop has nothing to do with Selenium and Pandas. Well, Pandas maybe, but not Selenium. Matplotlib. I go for Matplotlib. That's the most common library. It really sucks because like Matplotlib. Matplotlib was like made for statisticians. Oh, of course, Godson. Of course, I'm glad I answered your question. Matplotlib was like made for statisticians. And if you see how like R works and how like graphic on R works, like Matplotlib makes a lot of sense. But like honestly, I just like take my data and put it into Tableau because it's way faster. But learn Matplotlib. You're expected to know that if you know Python as an analyst. It's just what people do. Krishna Sai. Oh, I thought you went to CH like they just did. I was in a grade below him, and I know him through Vinay. Oh, I remember Vinay. So I went to Capella Middle School East, and then I transferred to North Hills after that for high school. So I didn't go to CH for high school, but yeah, I was. Yeah, Tejas is my brother. I don't know if we look like it right now, but we've been told we look very very similar. Let me screenshot this that way I can show him. What is the best platform? Okay, so on Vue, I really enjoy your videos. What is, of course, Encore. What is the best way to showcase my project or portfolio? GitHub for sure. Please answer at Gabriel H's question. Okay. As a data analyst, should I know ETL and pipelines, or is that a data scientist job? Oh, that's a tough one. Okay, so for me, I learned a lot of pipelines just because I worked at smaller companies, and the only way I could get data is to like understand how that stuff worked. But working at a larger company now, it's obvious that like data analysts typically don't know how that process works. So I would say that's more of a data scientist job. So no, you probably don't need to know that. But working at a smaller company, I personally had to learn it. So I hope that answered your question, Gabriel H. All right, so okay, so I answered Godson's questions now. When is the best time slash oh, Waleed Hussein, here's a good question. When is the best time slash season to look for jobs? Right now. There is no best. Okay. Statistically, there's probably a best season. It doesn't matter. Look for jobs right now. I was an experienced candidate, and it took me a solid 3 months last year to find a job. And the job searching process, budget out, even if you're experienced, 3 to 6 months to do it. So Aditya, my understanding is that you have to learn Matplot, like Seaborn is built on top of Matplotlib. So either way, you have to. Really? How about now? Is it working now? So Aditya, let me know. But my understanding is that either way, you have to like. Oh, my next Q&A live stream. It'll be tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern is my next one. So Marshall Turner, Aditya. So Aditya, so correct me if I'm wrong. My understanding is that Seaborn is built directly on top of Matplotlib. So in learning Seaborn, either way, you'd learn matplotlib. So correct me if I'm wrong. That's my understanding. And the only reason I say matplotlib is because it's so standard that like everyone like expects you to like learn it. Oh, hey, what's up, Hippo Lord? High five for the support, Big Four data analyst guy. The partner was familiar with Kaggle, so he impressed to see a project published there on my CA. Great job, Hippo Lord, and thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for the support. It really inspires me to keep doing this, and thank you so much for joining in. All right, so let me see if I can. So I'm really sorry. So like it seems that like so on the iPhone, if you're outside and your phone gets hot enough, like it just like dims a bunch, and so I can't actually see my screen now. Oh hey, Shifa Ahmed. I know quite a few Shifas. Okay, let's see. Where is your question, Shifa? Shifa, could you repost your question? I'm not really seeing it anywhere. Still scrolling up. Data analyst after getting ACCA qualified. I'm sorry. What is ACCA qualified? Oh man, yeah, we have so many questions here. It's crazy. So Liam McCann, how would you include nice looking tables in a PDF or R Markdown report? I also know Python, but I'm using R for most of my analyses. So, okay, correct me if I'm wrong. My understanding with R Markdown, and I'm not very experienced with R, is that you can take an R report and or an R Markdown report and immediately like the table you built out in it, you can take like the top 5 rows and just put that into a PDF, right? And if you're talking about like publishing like a whole table, um, I would probably just link it inside the GitHub repository. So yeah, so Shifa, to answer your question, I'm not exactly sure what ACCA is. All right. Aditya M. Okay, so let's see. We'll be waiting for your insights. Thank you, thank you. And yeah, so I have another 3 minutes over here. So if you have any questions, are probably the most interesting. Um, because hey, Francis Okoye is here. I didn't even see you come in. Abrar Khan, can data engineers present themselves as data analysts? Okay, so this is a tough one. I think at the early level, you totally can, but it gets harder and harder as you like move up in your career because you will have experience that like is more geared towards like an IT professional. And so I would say like really like hammer in because I've seen data engineers, they build out like reports and stuff to manage like server load and everything. So really talk about how you use analytics to manage like server load or something like that, and really put that on your resume. So yeah, go ahead and do that. Aditya M, can you repeat my question? Mute it. Wait, no audio. What happened to the audio? Oh, wait, okay, can everyone hear me? I hope everyone can hear me now. Okay, perfect. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm sorry I'm having so many technical difficulties today. You know what? I think I'm going to start. Okay, perfect. Okay. So Aditya M, what Python library all I need to know for BA? So my Python course has all the libraries I think that you need to know. So it's pandas. So pandas is probably your big one, and with pandas you'll learn NumPy. So pandas, NumPy, and I'd say probably learn Matplotlib as well. If you know those three, then I think you're solid. That's a great starting point. ACCA is an accounting qualification. Oh, thanks so much, Dylan. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of stuff I just don't know. I learn stuff from these live streams all the time. So thank you guys so much for informing me. So data analyst after getting ACCA qualified. That's a tough question, honestly, Shiva, because like I don't really know. I don't know the relation between like accounting and analytics. So that's a tough question for me to answer. I will say I had a friend he works in PwC Brazil, and he worked in financial forensics. So I'm guessing that accounting was useful over there. And he would use Alteryx to parse through massive amounts of data and find financial fraud in Brazil. Now, obviously, he's in Brazil, so like, guy's always busy, working way too much. But that might be an angle you can take. R. Vignesh, I'll ask one last time. How much statistics should one know to get into data analytics? Know your probabilities, know the basics of Bayes' theorem. I would say that's important. Marshall Turner, this is a good question. Have you ever thought about having interviews and or talks with other renowned influencers and data? Yeah, so let me know if you guys are interested in that. I personally have not thought too much about it, but if you guys want to see that, let me know and I can go ahead and like do that. And Marshall Turner is correct. So it really depends. So like the job we're interviewing for right now in data analytics and like Nordstrom, we do ask a couple of people for their like do they know like basic probabilities and stuff. So like learn basic probabilities. Like that just like shows that you have like basic math skills. But beyond that, yeah, the math is not too important. So Aditya, yes, okay, perfect. I'm glad I answered your question. Top domains to go for. I was thinking of going to healthcare or pharmacy. Fintech, health tech, and edutech are three. So I watched this guy, Scott Galloway, and he's a NYU professor at the Stern School of Business. Really fun to listen to. And he talks about how fintech, edtech, and health tech are the three biggest domains in the near future. So I think in healthcare you're definitely in a good place. Love your tutorials about Streamlit. I'm glad you love them, Howard Sue. We're actually working on them. We're actually using Streamlit at Nordstrom, and so I figure let me just like go ahead and make some tutorials of like how to do them. Stefan Stefanov. So this is the last question, and then I have to go. I have a meeting right now, actually. Of course, our Vignesh. I'm currently studying electrical engineering, master's of science. How am I to find a job as a data analyst? Doesn't it look bad to say I have no professional experience? Hire me. No, really talk about the experience you have as a. Really talk about your dissertation and talk about your research and any internships you happen to have. And if you can get an internship, definitely get an internship. Like internships are a godsend for experience for people in college. I highly, highly, highly recommend that. Also, if you're able to, go ahead and follow my TikTok. I have some alternative tips on my TikTok. I try and like do different content on different platforms. Unfortunately, it seems I can't type over here. Can I type out stuff? No, I guess I can't. So I guess I can't like respond to people's like comments over here. Interesting. I thought I thought I was allowed to type out comments over here. I guess I can't. So I guess I'm not going to do this like phone live stream as much anymore. This isn't as easy to use as the computer. Thank you everyone so much for joining. My name is Shashank. I'm a data analyst. I do these live streams weekly. I have to go right now. I have a meeting. But thank you so much for joining. Join again tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern. I have another live stream going on. This live stream was really made for the people in Europe and Asia who have a hard time joining that live stream. But thank you so much for joining. I'm going to head out. If you want to support me, super chats, my Patreon, my TikTok, do it for the data science. That's my TikTok. Great way to see more content I have. Shashank Analytics is my Instagram. I should actually link all the stuff in the description below. But thank you guys so much for joining, and I hope you have a great day.